Thanks for clicking on the video. My name's Tom Alsop and today I've got an interesting video for you. I've been working with an ex-college player from Princeton, wants to play some pro tennis, and his ground strokes are certainly good enough, but he needs another 10 mile an hour on his serve. So you're going to see us working together for about 15 minutes. I'm going to show you the progressions we went through, the progress we made, and I'm sure all the stuff that we're doing in this video can help you with your serve. All right, so let's start by taking a look at Dan's serve before I offered him any advice. And there was one thing that really stood out to me, and that was the lack of separation, which means that there was no torque and there was no acceleration, because these things go hand in hand. So there's no separation, meaning all of his body, the right side of his body, is sort of rotating together. The best players in the world, as they come through contact, will have their right leg going backwards. So the top half of their body will be rotating as their lower half moves in the opposite direction. That's going to create torque and it's going to allow you to accelerate. If everything is moving as one piece and everything is rotating together, you can't accelerate and therefore you can't generate any power. Now, he's quite upright here, which I think leads to this issue as well. If you're very upright at the point of contact, this right leg won't go back and it'll be hard to create this separation where things are moving in opposite directions. So these are the things that I was looking to tackle, and I'm going to show you how we did that. So what I did to help him to understand this is I showed him what he does on his forehand. His forehand is a big shot, generates a lot of power. Now you can see here that he's loaded, he's really coiling. We don't have to worry about this too much, but as he uncoils, what he's going to do is rotate the top half of his body as the lower half moves in the opposite direction. This gives him a lot of power. If he was to rotate all of his body together, he wouldn't generate the power. He wouldn't create that acceleration. Now, the next thing I had him doing was serving without jumping. I really like this exercise. I made a video on it 2 weeks ago talking about the benefit of serving like this. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out. I'll leave it in the description below or pop it on the screen right now. People seem to really like that one, so check it out if you've not done that already. But I'm having him do this exercise. Now you can see that it really works on the balance. It's not that easy to do this, but if you can do it, you actually create a lot of separation doing this exercise because his shoulders are now rotated. We can see his back, but the lower half stays back. So he's getting more separation here than he did earlier. And he's just treating it like a throw. This is what a quarterback would do if they were throwing a football. They'd keep this back foot on the floor and they'd rotate the shoulders. I'm not sure what this left arm is doing, but we'll kind of let that slide. And I just let him do this for a little bit until it felt comfortable. And then after that, what it kind of led to was, instead of throwing it like a quarterback, we wanted to start to throw it like a baseball player. So you can see, let me run this back, that as he rotates, we want the body to start leaning forwards and rotating and the back leg to go back. So now he looks more like a baseball pitcher than a quarterback. So within 15 minutes, we had Dan serving like this. And it's clearly an improved serve. You can tell this even by just looking at him right now. When he finishes the serve, he's obviously hit a serve with more power. There's far more going on here that's going to lead to a more powerful serve. But I'm going to just go into a little bit more detail on what's actually happened. So I really like how he's loading the back leg. It's very important that you don't get on the lead side too soon. So he's throwing off the back leg, not shifting his weight too soon. The shoulders are tilted and as he hits the ball, he's going to be rotating through the serve. So as he lands, we can see his back, and obviously the right leg has gone back. But the other part of this, the shoulders need to be moving in two different directions to get power. We're going to get the power from rotating around, as I keep saying, shoulders rotate while the lower half goes the opposite direction. But we also need the shoulders to be tilted here, and then as you come into contact to be slightly facing the ground, because the kinetic chain comes through the body where it's coming through the chest and then into the arm. So you got to try and use that chest to propel the arm. And if you're too upright, it's going to be very hard to do that. And it's going to be very hard to have the separation where, again, top half is rotating while the lower half goes back. Because as you land here, this whole right side from the knee to the shoulder is going to be in a straight line. So if you're too upright, you're not going to get this leg going back. You're not going to create the separation. If we go to this first one here, you'll see that because he's so upright, again, we've got a line from the shoulder to the knee, but because he's so upright, this is in a straight line here. So he's losing power in two different directions with what the shoulders weren't doing before. So if you're looking to improve your own serve, refine that kinetic chain, do what Dan's doing here. Treat the serve like a throwing motion. Think about it like a quarterback where you keep that back foot on the floor and rotate your shoulders. Then think about throwing like a baseball pitcher where you're rotating your shoulders even more and that back leg is going back. Then see if you can start getting off the ground, but by the time you've landed on that front leg, see if you're able to have rotated and kicked your back leg back. If you're able to do this, again, you're going to create a torque. You're going to be able to have that acceleration and hit a faster serve. If you're still struggling with your serve, you can send me a video through tpatennis.com and I can help you one-on-one. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, check out this other video where I'm working with another player, another ex-college player looking to go pro, looking to gain more miles an hour on his serve. And you'll see how I helped him to improve his serve using methods that are a little bit different than the ones I use with Dan.